Well, hello there and welcome back to the Hull City Fan Central YouTube channel, where today I do have my prediction for the Hull City versus Sunderland game at the MKM back after the international break. We did succeed or unfortunate with the 0-0 draw at Watford, depending on your opinion, obviously. But it was a point picked up on the road. It's what we always want. Any points picked up on the road, we will take them and develop on it at home in front of the home crowd. Currently 17,500 tickets so far sold. So it's going to be a good atmosphere tomorrow, I think. But over onto the team sheet. So I do think that it'll be a similar lineup to the side that played against Watford. Obviously a few changes, a few notable ones that I will mention. I think Matt Ingram does start back in net. He kept a clean sheet. You can't fault him. Obviously Nathan Baxter has come back from his injury. He was on the bench for the game. So it really could go either way, but I do think Matt Ingram will get the start after keeping the clean sheet and also after having done the press conference yesterday. In addition to that, the back four, I think, will remain unchanged with Cyrus Christie, Alfie Jones, and also Sean McLaughlin in there, along with Jacob Greaves. Sean McLaughlin is the interesting choice after having not the best of games against Watford, but keeping that clean sheet. You can't really fault the defence, really. So I think that he does stay in, and Tobias Figueiredo does keep on the bench after that draw. Obviously, Louis Coyle is also in there, a contention to get back into the starting lineup after having a long time out, probably dating back to his injury earlier on in the season. So I don't think he gets looking. Cyrus Christie's been doing a better job than he has. Yes, he may be named the club captain, but at the moment it is really Jacob Greaves as the club captain and Louis Coyle coming on as sort of like a late game substitution to try and see the game out. Moving a bit forwards, we do have Sarri and Woods. It's sort of a dynamic CDM partnership that no one really saw happening at the start of the season, but it's happening now, and we're kind of glad for it. And then up top, in the sort of like the three behind the striker, obviously with Pelkas picking up that injury and being out for, I think it's up to 3 months now, with that injury against Watford in the opening stages, does mean that I think Greg Doherty will get a start. Yes, he picked up a knock in the game, but I think it was more of a take-off sub for insurance rather than anything too harsh on it. So I don't think he'll get the start in this game, along with Longman and Slater in that sort of attacking trio. And then up top, Oscar Estupinian's back. Yes, he served his 3-match suspension, although it's felt like years with this international break. I think he'll get the start. He's not been injured. He's been doing all the stuff that he's needed to in the friendlies and training sessions, and by the sounds of Liam Rosenior, he's wanting Oscar Estupinian to come back and come into the starting lineup. Tyler Smith, he had an alright friendly season. He got the start in the last game as striker, didn't really do too much, and I think he will be dropped to the bench and Oscar Estupinian come back. So I think that is the lineup. That's probably the strongest lineup that I can see Liam Rosenior picking. Maybe there's a few people in there that I would personally change, but we're obviously going off Liam Rosenior's mind. He spent a lot of time with the lads in Turkey, in England, training and stuff over this international window. So we've got to take his word for it, haven't we? But aside from that, let's go on to a bit of history between the sides. Obviously, we've matched up with Sunderland a few times in previous years. I think I was reading somewhere, because obviously it's the 20th anniversary of the MKM Stadium. If you haven't been watching the documentaries over on Hull City's YouTube channel, I would recommend it. But I think the first game at the MKM Stadium was a friendly against Sunderland. So a little bit of history with this game. Another thing that will probably be happening in the game will be minutes of silence before the game for Alam's death. Which obviously happened recently, and no matter what your feelings are of Mr. Alam, you've got to really pay respect, haven't you? I said it when the takeover happened. I did say that all respect to him. He did so much for the club at the starting period. Yes, maybe towards the end his morals were unsuggestible sort of thing, but you've got to really pay respect to him. He is, after all, sadly passed away, and he did a fair amount for the club. In his time at the club, we got promoted 3 times. The first one, I'd say, is mainly down to him and the backroom staff that he did bring in. So, massive respect to him, and I hope that we can pay him some honour at tomorrow's game. But then let's move on to my prediction. Now, it's going to be a tricky game to predict. We did pick out a 0-0 draw against one of the strongest contenders to go up to the Premier League at the end of the season. And Sunderland have just been promoted from League One. They've got a strong side about them. They did just lose in their last game, though. So I do think we're going to pick up a 2-1 win, with a Regan Slater goal and an Oscar Estepinian goal for us, and then Sunderland replying back with a goal. I'm not sure from where, because they are a bit of an unpredictable side on where they can pick their goals from. But that's what my prediction is. Let me know down in the comments what you think will happen in this game, what you think the score will be, and anything you agree or disagree with within this video. Let me know down below. But this has been the Hull City Fan Central YouTube channel. Stay tuned. I will have a matchday vlog out tomorrow, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.